Court Avenue Brewing Company in downtown Des Moines is a place where I imagine, people come here for the beer, but also, the food is what people love.
Yes.
So as a brewer, help me understand what that's like when you're making beer. You're thinking about the food that you serve here and how it'll pair with that, right?
Right. That's always kind of something we're thinking about. And the thing is that I have the luxury of trying all these delicious foods and gaining a lot of mass in the process.
Right
but yeah, the convenient thing is that I have access to these foods and I eat them every day, so I know what.
So when the kitchen comes up with something new, they run it by you first?
Oh, no, they kind of do their thing, and then I kind of put my little own interpretation on it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. How long have you been brewing?
So I've been brewing. I started at home in 2012. My parents gave me for Christmas a Mr. Brew kit. Mr. Beer, excuse me, the little brown barrel.
Yeah, no, we've made beer here on the show using that. How was your experience?
So my first experience, I called it a honey lager, not even knowing what lagering was. I guess I did make it in my parents' basement, and it was about 50 degrees in there, so I just kind of lucked out.
This is none of my business. How old are you when Mom and Dad get you the beer making kit?
So I would have been...
Because I think I know the answer to this. You got cool parents, don't you?
They are pretty cool.
Pretty laissez-faire in their parenting skills.
They figured that,
I know where this is going.
May as well do it at home so that you're not doing it somewhere else.
Right. No, and also, as a mom and dad, having a brewer in the family, that's almost like having a lawyer in the family.
Yeah,
and frankly, you might as well be as close as you're at the courthourse, right?
Yeah, it's you got to have a baker, a candlestick maker.
Right?
Yeah.
So you start making Mr. Beer at home. You're 11 years old.
With a beard.
You've got parents who the statute of limitations has expired. They're not going to get in any trouble here, I don't think.
Yeah,
you're making this beer at home. What was that like?
At first, it was something that I was very new to, obviously, so I didn't know anything. But so it was very broad. It was so much to discover. It was very exciting.
Right.
And a lot of the things about it, there's so many different aspects of beers that the variables you could change. You could change the hops, you could change the yeast, everything that's going to give you a different end product. Right. And I was like, dude, that's really cool. I
know Court Avenue Brewing Company has its own app.
Yeah, we do.
That's unusual. That's very cool.
We're, it's part of our efforts to kind of modernize this place.
Right.
We need an app. We need a better online presence,
Right.
And so that was one of our goals. We have a mug club. And so for $49 a year, $50 a year, you can get a mug club membership. You can have we do once a month, we do a mug club party where you get to come and see my face and play games and eat free food. And that's free as charged, as a mug clubber. And then, of course, there's some discounts and things throughout the month that you can have as well.
So if you have that app, it just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and you can manage that all on your app.
I imagine it's a lot easier, too, to stay on top of the beers that are on tap here and that sort of thing.
Yes, yeah, and so that's where we put all our notifications for events and things like that, so that it's just, it comes up in one very convenient place for people.
Is Court Avenue Brewing Company the only place you can get Court Avenue Brewing Company beer?
Currently, yes. We're trying to expand our distribution footprint. But that's just a struggle for most small breweries, right? What we do have is we have a very large distribution of ginger beer. We make our house sodas here. So we make root beer and ginger beer out of all local products. Our honey, we have a local apiary that we put in the sodas. So it's, we try to make those sodas the best we can, and it's kind of our biggest distribution right now.
I guess the plus side of that is, that the beer that you make is consumed here. You're in charge of it. You're in control of it. You don't have to worry about anything going sideways.
No. So all that production is under my control, and it's like if you want something done right, you do it yourself.
How often are you back there making beer?
I make probably 6 barrels of soda a week. So we're talking about 6 times 31 is that's how many gallons it is. So we make quite a bit of ginger beer.
There's no way of knowing what that number is.
Right.
That's a lot of numbers.
Certainly someone could big brain that.
Sure.
Probably put it on the screen right here.
Well, how about that? Wow, TV's magical. The beer that you make here that you're the most excited about?
The most excited about? I mean, I would say that every year around this time, I brew a very large beer. Essentially, what I mean big, I mean it's upwards of 13, 14% ABV.
Oh wow!
And usually, it's a barley wine.
Okay.
Right. Last year we did what we called a wheat wine, which was essentially a barley wine that's half of it was wheat. But it came out really great. We kind of center some of our beer dinners that we have around those big beers because they're just special. And then the other thing about it is that, we'll put a portion of those big beers in a barrel. And then the next year you can have, the naked version and the barrel aged version. And it's always pretty nice.
This Pointer Brown Ale, this is a beer that's always available.
Always available.
Help me understand the core beers that no matter when we come to Court Avenue Brewing Company will be available.
So, I mean, we have 5 cores. We have Siesta, which is a Mexican lager. Okay. We have our brown here, which is an English brown. We have a New England IPA, which is Earthbound. Okay. We have an American IPA called Honest Lawyer. Given
makes sense,
right? We get a lot of jokes about I've never heard of one of those. Mm-hmm. And then our last one is the Courthouse Honey Wheat. Again, very location centric.
I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
It is, yeah.
Court Avenue Brewing Company. It's in downtown. I mean, what part of this neighborhood? What is this?
We're in the Court Avenue. I think it's called the Entertainment District.
The Entertainment District. All right.
Something like that.
It's very easy to find Court Avenue Brewing Company because it is, as we've established already, on Court Avenue. Yeah. Dustin, keep up the good work. This beer is delicious. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
I grew up playing Pokemon. So these creatures with all their different aspects that help them in certain scenarios and hinder them in others, right, was very attractive to me. It was like these yeasts, they can do different things. They have all their individual characters, and I could have them all myself.
You gotta catch them all.
Essentially.
I've never in my life made the connection between Pokemon and brewing.
Yeah. So my fascination.
You even wear your hat backwards like the kid on the cartoon show.
Yeah, and I, Pokemon tattoos.
Of course you do. Tell me about these tats.
Yeah, I got Scyther and Sizer right here.
Okay.
They're a couple of my favorite bug Pokemon. Okay. And then I have Gengar inside of Gengar, so he's got a little nightmare going on. He's a ghost Pokemon.
I'm gonna nod and pretend I know what that means, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're using the Pokemon skills.
Right, and if you notice on some of my fermenters, I have tiny little Pokemon figurines to protect and make sure everything is going well with the beer.